I'm Sophia, I'm in my 30s. You heard right, I was also born with a cleft lip and palate, but I never really had the chance in my 20s to explore it like many of us perhaps might have done, because of course I had my girls in my 20s. I also don't have many baby photos, just a few. I do have an album that my dad gave me a few years back, but many of the photos that are in this album are from ages 2 and above, so I can't 100% be sure what surgeries I absolutely did have, but what I can tell you is that between the ages of 18 and 25, I had many surgeries. Meanwhile, also being a young mum to a beautiful little girl, I had a bone graft where a bone was taken from my hip and put into the roof of my mouth, and this was aimed in reducing the lisp in my speech. I also had my jaw reconstructed, or should we say broken, and then fixed again, and the reason for this was to realign the jaw and the bite of the teeth. Oh, and then I had rhinoplasty as well. Now this was to straighten, I guess to make me a bit more symmetrical. I haven't had any beauty or aesthetic treatments otherwise, besides one lip filler, and this was by a wonderful doctor that specialised in cleft lips. So I guess looking back from in my younger former childhood years, I've got photos from between the ages of 2 and 17, and when I reflect back on what I must have been thinking behind these images, I can see a little girl that was impressionable and vulnerable on the world and was leading her caregivers and those around her to guide her, show her all the beauty that the world has to offer. You can kind of see when I get to around 16, 17 in some of the photos in my album where I'm really starting to be aware of people maybe looking at me or like staring for too long, or I guess being uncomfortable in perhaps like asking me, which I think I would have preferred, especially being a bit of a socialite. I guess I see things really differently. My life has taken many turns in that respect, and now at 39, any scars I have on my body, including that from my cleft lip and palate, which by the way is still a very unknown condition, but there's usually a ratio of 1 to 700 babies that were born with a cleft lip and a palate, or only lip or only palate. But yeah, what I can say is that my story tells the lived experience of a girl that's gone through bone grafts, palate repairs, braces, recovery, but it also tells a much bigger story, and that is about believing in yourself, because what's woven through my lived experiences is that I've only ever had myself to believe in, and if I didn't have that, then I'm not so sure what I could have relied on. So I think we can all be part of the solution, even though the grain is against us, and it's really difficult. This is for the mums that have babies that are born with clefts. This is for the teenagers that may be struggling with self-image, and also the adults who are figuring out who they are, because visible difference should never be. It's part of our strength, and usually if people are looking and staring, it usually says a lot about their levels of discomfort, and they need knowledge too, and who better to share it than from someone that has lived experience.